Hi everyone, this is Yana, and in this video I'm sharing a very simple birthday card using products from the April 2015 card kit from Simon Says Stamp. The stamp set featured in the April kit is a very unique one. It has tons of different sentiments, birthday sentiments, and lots of which are very large and bold, just the way I like. I will be using the Let's Party and Celebrate You sentiment, but I've also shared a card on my blog using the Make-A-Wish sentiment. You can check it out by clicking the link you see on the screen on the right-hand side. Now, this set also has some additional images. There is a cute balloon and a candle with two flames so that you can create additional stamped elements for your project. Super fun. There are also a few smaller font sentiments that you can use maybe on the inside on the card of your card or as a small additional sentiment on the card front. For my today's card, I'm also going to use the stitched squares dies from Simon and will be cutting a large square to do my stamping on. I like this particular set because of the faux stitched edge that I'm able to create with just a single cut. And this edge is present on the inside and also on the outside of the die edge. So if you were to create a window card using this die, you will also have the same faux stitched look there as well. Now, since I already have this die out, I might as well use it. So I'm going to tape it using a piece of washi tape to my white cardstock and send it through my Artisan Explorer machine from Spellbinders. I'm taping my die in place to make sure it stays where I've put it and cuts where I need it to cut. If you have a magnetic platform in your machine, you don't need to tape anything down. The magnet will hold the die in place. So there I have a beautiful faux stitched edge on the inside of my square. It gives this piece a more finished look by creating somewhat of a frame around it. I'm going to stamp the Let's Party and Celebrate You sentiment onto this square using black ink. I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black. This is a pigment ink that dries very quickly, but it's also a very rich ink. It is truly a favorite one of mine for stamping sentiments. Now, the font on this sentiment has a somewhat distressed look, so the stamped image is not going to look perfect. You could, if you wanted, make it perfect by using a marker of a matching color and just color in those large letters. I like mine the way it is, the imperfect way, the way it was meant to be, so I'm going to leave it this way. I'm trying to stamp this sentiment directly in the center of my square, and I'm using the grid lines of my cutting mat to help me determine where that center is. I'm also going to press with my fingers from the back of the paper to make sure I transfer as much ink as possible there. I wasn't planning on doing so, and I rarely do so, but the paper stuck to the stamp and was lifted up when I picked up the stamp, so I just decided to do that. It was just a spontaneous thing to do. So here you can see that distressed look, especially on the top row of the large letters. I personally love it, but like I said, if you don't, just grab a marker and just fill those areas in with a matching color of ink. Now, I want to stamp a few more elements in this project, so I'm going to use a balloon image, and I'm going to stamp it using the Mint Julep ink from Hero Arts. I just recently got this ink pad, this color of ink, and I'm very excited to use it on all of my cards. This is such a pretty color, I think, and it is perfect for my balloons too. And I also think that it matches a bit to the washi tape from this month kit, which I plan to use on this card too, so it's a win-win. So I'm going to stamp a few balloons onto my square, and I'm going to overlap them with my sentiment. Please note that I'm cleaning my balloon stamp in between stamping the images. I'm doing this so that the black ink, which is being picked up by the balloon stamp, doesn't transfer onto the ink pad and doesn't transfer onto a different part of my square when I stamp the second balloon. Now, this Hero Arts ink looks splotchy and uneven at first. That's the way that those inks were designed to work, but it does even out a bit after a couple of minutes. If you still don't like the way it looks, you can double stamp your balloons and make the color of your balloons more intense. I think I ended up double stamping mine. I also used a second generation stamping technique and stamped some barely visible balloons in the back. The way I did this was I inked my stamp up, stamped the first impression onto a piece of paper to the side there, and then without re-inking my image, stamp that balloon again, but onto my project this time. I'm not sure if you can see that these second generation balloons are there or not, but they are, and they do add a little something extra to this project. So after I was done with my stamping, I adhered a sheet of this craft and gold paper onto an A2 top folding card base. I covered the entire front of the card and left the back and the inside white so that I can easily write my greeting in there. I'm now going to use foam squares and adhere the stamped panel onto my project. I'm using foam adhesive because I want this project to have a bit of dimension. I do not want it to be flat. You can see that the back of my paper has something stamped on it. I reused this piece as I'm trying to waste less paper. So whenever I stamp something that I don't like, I don't just throw that piece away, but keep it in a special basket and just reuse the back side, like the opposite side of that paper later. This has really helped me to save a lot of white cardstock. I'm also going to add a piece of washi tape from the kit. I really like the ombre look on this one, and I like that it matches my paper and also the mint ink on the balloons. As one final touch, I'm going to add a little gold brad, a star, for my kit, simply to make this project a little bit more festive. Finally, I can adhere this panel onto my card base and finish my project. Be sure to stop by my blog to check out the first card I shared using this kit. As always, the list of supplies I used to create this card is posted in the video description and also on my blog. If you'd like to see more videos using products from Simon Says Stamp, be sure to check out the link you see on the screen. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I have new card making videos coming out every week. Thanks for watching. Bye!